When I came to Arizona 4 years ago, I was fleeing for my life from a literal serial killer. I've been living with him for a year. He was drugging me. He was planning on pimping me out like he did his first wife. And I fled New York to Arizona in absolute fear for my life because once I realized what he was doing, I couldn't hide the fact. I couldn't hide it. I knew I was in real danger. He was going to finish the job. He had no intention of letting me escape. I fled in a rusted out Chrysler Sebring with nothing but a bag of clothes I hastily threw in the back of my car and a couple $1,000s I had saved from a serving job while I was in New York. And I came to Arizona and ended up at the Grand Canyon to watch the sunrise because I was sure I may not get another chance. And then when I got to Arizona, I was saved by a Grand Canyon park ranger. Not just any Grand Canyon park ranger, he was a bushmaster, an interior. Yeah. And somehow he ended up being the one to rescue me. And he was so handsome and so kind, and I feel like I almost feel like he wasn't real. But I get to Arizona and he believes my crazy story about the psycho in New York. And interestingly enough, everyone in Arizona believes me about this situation. And then shortly after I got to Arizona, I found lodging with a man who practiced voodoo, a voodoo practitioner, and he gifted me Hekate's key. He gifted me her key. And instantly I knew. So this altar represents my devotion and gratitude to her for saving me from the most dangerous. I've been in a lot of dangerous situations, but this one felt different. It was this one was in my physical life. The other thing, all the other threats I was in was existential, right? This one was real. This man was absolutely had no intention of letting me survive. He needed to get rid of me so I wouldn't talk. It's that serious. But on top of all of this, which is horrific enough, I was being targeted by a group of online bullies. And one of my bullies, who had been tormenting me for almost, a decade at this point, contacted this man, this serial killer, this rapist, and had him on one of her podcasts, did a live stream, and mocked me. Yeah, yeah. Made false accusations toward me, mocking me. While I was living in fear, she was this bully was actively colluding with this man and trying to help him. And eventually, she realized what she had gotten herself involved in, and she suddenly dropped it all. She suddenly decided to, cease and desist because she realized she had taken it too far. But it's too late. It's too late. She's dealing with Hekate. She's facing Hekate's wrath right now. This whole group of online bullies. If Hekate was willing to save me, to actively save me from a literal serial killer, I'm sure she can handle my bullies. I'm sure that she can absolutely adequately handle my bullies. Because the trauma of this, the PTSD I've had to live with, has not been easy to heal. I've had insomnia for years over this. As long as I stay busy and stay active, I don't think about what happened too much. It's it at night when things are quiet and I'm drifting off to sleep, I'll start to drift off to sleep, and then all of a sudden I'll be hit with a wave of panic and anxiety, and I will sit up in bed, and it'll take me a second to realize that I'm safe. I'm still dealing with this. I'm still coping with this. This is what I live with. And I've tried medications. I've tried everything. And it caused me to develop a drinking problem, because alcohol, it was the only thing I could drink myself into oblivion so that I could sleep. But that's not really a solution either. It's not really a solution either. And knowing that these people are still out there and are still, like, they moved on from bullying me to bullying other people. And they face no real consequences that have caused them to rethink their behavior. It has really held me back from my own healing, because if I go and check, I can see these people still doing it to others. And it's very triggering for me. It really, knowing that, like, because there's always the risk that they could come back and try again, that they could focus on me again and target me again. And so this is holding back my healing and holding me back from moving forward in my life. I'm wildly successful. Hekate has given me so much, and she has done so much for me. But it's a process. It's completely a process. And some days are better than others. I have good days, I have bad days. Some days I feel like I'm completely moved on and I'm fine, and then boom, something happens. And that's called PTSD, people. And so I'm realizing, because I recently had a setback, I recently had an episode, and I realized that I need to see justice. Like, I need to be rewarded and compensated in some way for everything that I suffered. Because injustice has been done. A great injustice. I suffered a great injustice. And I feel strongly that the only real justice is to see the people responsible held accountable in some way for what they're doing and what they've done to me, not just to me, but what they've done to others. Because it's not okay to toy with someone's life just because you're behind a screen. It's not okay to get yourself involved with serial killers and rapists because there's somebody you don't like and you want to see them targeted. That's not okay to do that to people. It's not okay to use your voice to oppress and harm and bring harm to other people. That's not okay. This isn't just personal. I mean, it's very personal, but I'm not the only one who gets harmed by these things. Innocent people who are going through extreme trauma in real life then get bullied by online trolls simply for speaking up about it, simply for using their voice and standing up for themselves. I fought back against a very, very bad man who had very, very bad intentions. And I was mocked for that. Because apparently I was supposed to just let this man kill me. That was how the story was supposed to end. And I didn't let that happen. I stood up for myself and I fought back and I got away. And I'm rebuilding my life even now. But the ones who were responsible, there's still many of them who have not faced consequences for what they've done. And for this, I trust Hekate to make it right, because she's been looking out for me for a really long time, and I can trust her.